There is one drop spot on the Fortnite map that is more OP than any other drop spot, and it's heavily underrated. Virtually no one is landing there currently at the moment, but if you land at this location, you're guaranteed to get more kills, more wins, and have a higher chance of just being the better player overall compared to everyone. Hi, what is going on YouTube? My name is Onyi, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the best drop spot in Chapter 3, Season 4 of Fortnite. Before we get right into the video and I show you what this spot is, we'd really appreciate it if you could leave the video a like rating and subscribe down below. Less than 5% of people who watch the videos are currently subscribed, and I don't have any sponsors or anything, so if you want to help me out in any shape or form, hit the subscribe button, trying to hit 10k subs eventually, and use code ONY in the Fortnite item store. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, that all helps as well a lot. That you guys can be my sponsor, you sponsor the video. Anyway, this location is Cloudy Condos. Now, the reason this location is Cloudy Condos is many reasons, and I'm going to be breaking that down for you in a second and why you want to be landing here, so make sure you stick around for the entirety of the video, otherwise you're going to be like, oh, I'll just land there. There's a little bit more to it. It's not just about dropping at this spot. It has to do with the rotations and the reason you want to be landing here in the first place. Now, this location is going to be goated in both comp, aka arena in build mode, and zero build mode of the game. So you don't want to be sweating it too much if you're playing different game mode to me, because it's still going to help you out in a large way. Out of all the benefits that this place has, by far the best one is its secluded slope truck. Now, this slope truck very rarely gets contested, I find, and I'm always the first one to it. Typically, I'll land at the top section there, try and get some floor loot, and then I'll go for the slope truck. And that is the best way you want to be starting your game, because you're going to have 100 shield off spawn before anyone else. You can even land on it directly. My typical next loot path that I do is I climb up this section and I'll loot the floor loot here or on the sides, and then I'll just go through this vent, and then I'll just clear out this bottom section and I'll rotate upwards. You might have noticed I've got something big in my inventory here, and this is a chug splash, and the reason for that is the amount of chug splashes you can get here is absolute insanity. But more on that later when I show you the drop map and why you want to be landing here specifically. We're not really getting into the high details of that, kind of just like me showing you my little rotation that I pop here. Sometimes there's a chest spawn here. Do note that Battle Royale does not have 100% chest spawn rate, so you won't be getting all of the chests every single time. But yeah, I normally clear out this section, and then by then I'm typically good and I just rotate to zone. There's a couple rotations you can take from here. Do note there's a lot of slope barrels as well. And these rotations I always do typically based on zone. We've got a bunch of balloons here. We've got a couple launch pads around here as well. We even got the vault here of a balloon. And I'll rotate towards Rocky Reels or the petrol station here based on where I hear shots or where zone is, and then towards Tilted or Chrome. I'll get like a vehicle or something, or I'll just take another balloon. You may have noticed I just got myself another cooler here, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to try and get as many of these coolers as possible, because this is really going to solidify the reason why you want to be landing here. And I think once I've got 6 splashes, I'll show you. I'll show you once we've got 6 splashes. First of all, let's drop the goo gun. We're not stooping to that low level. We'll search this little cooler here. We have max floppers already. We do have a holo chest here, but we're going to save our key, because if we can get another key, then we can unlock this vault here outside of Cloudy Condos. And we're just going to go loot the middle section of where these coolers sometimes spawn also. I haven't heard any shots, or I didn't see many people land around me, so I'm not too worried about that. Just going to call in a dialer drop. We're just going to see if we can get some better weapons here. Hopefully it doesn't drop me a sniper. I've been getting a lot of snipers from those recently. Only one of the coolers spawn there. Typically you can get up to 2 in that one little section, but we have another one here on our right, and I think it's finally starting to make sense to a lot of you why I land here so often. And let me show you real quick on the drop maps what I'm talking about, what you've been waiting for. So if you go to fortnite.gg, you can look at the map and you can look at all the loot here. Now, first things first, there's a lot of floor loot that can spawn here. You got a potential of 240 loot that can spawn here. If you're counting the top section here, if you're counting the bottom 2 sections here, that's approximately around 160 plus that spawns in the bottom section here, potential. Remember, we don't have 100% spawn rate, but that's not the main reason. The main reason is, look at this. First of all, you have the slope truck. Then you have a potential spawn of 36 slope barrels. I'm pretty sure slope barrels have 100% spawn rate. And then on top of that, the amount of coolers that can spawn here, 19 coolers you can get here. So not only can you get the max amount of shield off spawn from landing the slope truck, you can get up to 3 stacks of splashes easily by landing at this location. And I've done that many times. Plus, you have the vault there as well. This location does better than any other place on the map. Yeah, you might have 100 chug barrels over here at the cave, or you might have 20 over here in comparison to the 36 you only have here. But do you have a slope truck there? No, you don't. you might be looking at the coolers and be like, damn, that's the most amount of coolers on the map. That's precisely why we're landing there. Not only can you get the slurp truck, or if you get damaged, you can take the barrels. You can just find heaps and heaps of splashes from these coolers, and that's the real reason why you want to be landing there. On top of this as well, you have potential spawn of 4 ice machines, so you can get max slurp fish from it. Then when it comes to hollow chests, a potential spawn of 5 of these here, where you only have 6 as the max at one location. And then look at this at the bottom section of the map. You even got rifts here as well. This is by far the best place you ever want to be dropping in Fortnite. Someone took my supply drop. How dare they? I was explaining to YouTube what we're doing here. That's fine. I wonder if they got anything good. I think they did, because it looks like they took it. Anyway, let's continue looting here. I'm going to see if I can get 3 stacks of splashes to prove my point here. I don't actually know all of the perfect locations here as well, because typically I get such decent loot very quickly here. I normally always just go for 1 stack of splashes and then a stack of minis. I just rotate off. I don't even loot the full location ever. And I don't know if you'll ever have the full amount of time to loot this full location based on how much loot you can get from it. And a lot of them do spawn in these bottom sections here. They can spawn on the top side as you saw earlier, but majority of them I do find in this bottom section here as well. There you go. We have another cooler. Look at that. 2 stacks of splashes that easily. Okay, we got zone here as well. That's quite rare. Quite rare. So I actually want to be looting this relatively fast, because if I want to go to the vault here as well, more people are going to rotate towards it the longer that the match goes on. Remember, when you land here as well, if you're playing build mode of the game, just to farm the insides of stuff, just so when you leave the location, you're not totally ruined when it comes to materials. And I have to be completely honest with you, I've known about this location since the start of this season, but I kind of didn't want to share it because I didn't want more people to know about this or possibly get more contested in Fortnite. This is by far the best location to land though. Highly recommend it. And I think I'm ready to give up that secret. Look at all these barrels around me. So many barrels around this location. I don't think the lighthouse is going to be here to stay though. I think the lighthouse will be gone before you know it. And there we go, coming out of the location with 3 stacks of splashes, being short actually of the extra inventory space to cover the full amount that I found. Now, I am going to just rotate to zone here. There is 18 people left. I spent a little bit extra time here than I typically do looting. And this was a little bit off the bus path. Normally, if it's close to the bus line, you will have a few people land here as well. Not a lot of people though. And typically, I would only leave here with 1 stack of splashes because I don't spend all that additional time looting. It's just for the sake of the video showing you that you can get all this stuff here. I'm going to loot the vault real fast here, just to show all that additional loot. And the fact that we can get more splashes from here as well, that's pretty nutty in my opinion. So look at that. We have another 2 splashes there as well. Plus, you have the 2 supply drops that always spawn in here. There you go, even more splashes there. Like, I don't know about you, but I think this is nuts when it comes to how good of a location and a rotation you can get from here. Okay, 15 people remaining. I haven't heard a shot in a hot minute. Don't know if anyone's around me. See, there's a D launcher there. Also, we have like launch pads here. So that's what I was talking about before when it comes to this area. Plus, if you want to get some chrome stuff, you can always go to the chrome location here. This is not a fantastic area, but there's a little bit of brick you can get there. You can probably get about 500, 600, but I typically pick up my mats from my kills. I don't farm too much. Normally, if I have about 300 mats, I'm pretty happy for the rest of the game because I'm not an overbuilder as well. Watch me get headshot sniped in this game.
A few moments later.
Told you I was going to get sniped. Anyway, that's the best drop spot. Really? This is where you're camping? If it's helped you out in any shape or form, you haven't yet done it, please leave the video a like, rating, subscribe down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Make sure to use code ONY. Goodbye.